Hello everyone, welcome back. So in previous video we have seen how we can create a user using AWS SDK, and we have seen this user from SDK got created in our AWS. We can check it here in the console. So what was the steps or what was the step that we performed when we created my SDK user using AWS console? So we first gave some username and then we added that user to a group, right? And then we also created access keys, right? These are the simple or very minimal steps that we performed for this user. So same things as I mentioned, we'll be doing it for this user as well. So now that we created a user, let us go and add this user to a group. Now you see this user is not added to any group, and if we go to this groups as well, you see only two users in this admin group, which is Manoj and my SDK user. So let us add this new user from SDK also to this group called admin. Okay, how we can do that programmatically? Let's see. Okay, let us go back to our class. In the same class, I'm going to define another method. Okay, this will be used to add the user to the group. So I will just create public static. It is just adding, so it will not return any useful information. So I'm just creating add user to group. A simple name. We can pass the name actually, or you can directly hardcode the username. But okay, I'm just giving username here. Okay, so because we defined this IAM client inside this create user method, as I mentioned, this is the similar thing that we have to follow. So even for this add user group action also, we need this IAM client. Okay, and again we have to use that, create the client, and then we have to create the request accordingly, and then get the response, capture the response by just running this create user method or similar to this add user to the group method against this IAM client. Okay, that's what we are going to use. So you may ask why we cannot use it in common here, but yeah, because I just have it, we can still create this IAM client here, and you can pass this IAM client to each and every method. That is also possible. So I'm just reusing this code, which is just creation of IAM client. Okay, we just have we already discussed how this IAM client will be created. We just use the deep whatever the IAM client if you are doing IAM operations, and we just call the builder method and then the build. In between, we just have to pass credentials provider because we are using we configure that credentials file, and in a default profile we use this one. So this is going to verify the credentials or the access keys in that location. Okay, from that credential file it is going to fetch. Okay, I'm not going to go into that section again. So now that we have IAM client, previously if you see it was create user request. Now we have to add the user. So you just type here, you see add user to group request. So once you create a client, you have to create the request. Okay, so I'm just calling it as a add user to group request. It is same again. You just have to create a builder. Okay, it's the same, but what extra information that you have to give? So it's very simple, right? You just have to pass the username and you just have to give the group name. That's it. So just give what is the username first. So we are already passing this username, so I'm just going to uh, use that parameter here and just add the group name. You can also add the group name as a parameter, but because we just have the user group name here, I'm just going to hard code that value. So this is admin. User group name is admin, which already exists. So once I run that program, my expectation is that that user should be visible under this group. So let us copy this and paste it here under the group name. Okay. So you created a client and you created a request. Now you have to run this request against this one. So it's not create user this time, add user to the group. And you just have to pass this add user to group request. So what is it going to return is usually it will be of same name. Okay, add user to group request, right? This time you'll get add user to group response. So add user to group response will come from this. So if you just check here, yeah. So that's it. I don't think we just have to. We can just still print as in when as we were doing earlier. Okay, the response is okay. You just give whatever is the response. Yeah, that's it. It's a void, so we are not returning anything, and the exception is IAM exception because it's a IAM operation that we are doing. So let us see, but we have to call this method. So I'm not going to create any other user here. So I'll just take make a call to this add user group. We just have to pass the same user. Okay. And another thing, in previous video, we have seen SLF4J related issues coming in. So for that purpose, I just added two jars or dependencies, SLF4J API and SLF4J simple. So this should be fixing that issue. Let's see. So yeah, so we are calling add user to the group, and this should do the job. So it's running. Okay. So the response is this same method. It is just returning the method name or whatever. So it's just empty object kind of thing. So okay. So sometimes we do not get much information, right? So let us see and check here whether we have this user incorporated here or not. Yeah, you see this user under this admin group here. You know, you go back to users and come back here again. You see the users under admin. Okay, so that's it for this video. So we have seen how a user can be added to a group using AWS SDK with a Java program. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.